Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and Ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Gail here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi light novel video. And today, we are here once again with a tweet from Memoria Sensei. And this time around, it's a tweet for a teaser regarding Danmachi Volume 21 and, of course, Oratoria Volume 16. Now, of course, over the last month, we've had the releases of both Danmachi Volume 20, the main series Volume 20, and, of course, also Oratoria Volume 15. And so this video will contain spoilers for both light novels, of course, as well. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this video, that there will be spoilers for both light novels, and that you should probably go and check out the videos that we've dropped for both light novels. You know, both spoiler compilations. They go over in excruciating detail as to what happens in both light novels, outside of course, some discrepancies, because you know how it is. Everybody's still actively translating and trying to make sure that they're getting the translations right. And so it's very early days. It's, you know, people fan translating it basically, right? And so, of course, be sure to check out those videos, because it just gives you a great idea on exactly what's going down in both light novels and what we're going to be seeing potentially from Volume 21 and Oratoria Volume 16 as well. And of course, I am very excited to talk about this, because we're getting into some crazy stuff. Like I've been titling a lot of my videos, it's absolutely crazy. Oratoria Volume 16 is crazy. Danmachi Volume 20, absolutely crazy. It's genuinely crazy. It is genuinely very, very crazy. So again, just putting a disclaimer out there, if you guys want to get spoiled in regards to what's happening, then stick around, watch the entirety of this video. But I would urge you guys to go check out those two videos if you want to kind of prep yourself to kind of get an idea on exactly what's going down in both light novels. But yeah, of course, outside of that, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, remember to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'm gonna ask you guys to do something a little bit later into this video, so be sure to stick around for that, and keep an eye out on what I'm trying to ask you guys to do in the comments section. So keep around, stick around, and look out for when I talk about what you guys I want you guys to do in the comment section down below. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the tweet. So, of course, first and foremost, Amori confirms that he's preparing Volume 21 of the main series and Volume 16 of Sword Oratoria quietly. He says quietly, but he is preparing it, right? The main thing I would say about this is that we should expect Volume 21 and Volume 16 around about sometime early next year, is my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already been working on it, since of course Volume 20 and Volume 15 have been prepared and everything. There is also a fair chance it could release later on in the year, towards the end of the year, just like how we had Volume 18 to Volume 19. But the thing is, with Volume 21 and Volume 16 going to be very intense novels, we're going to be getting the actual rescue mission going on, basically the preparation for the rescue mission into, of course, what will be the actual rescue mission. And I don't think there's going to be a large prep period, because you have to remember that they're still fighting down there, right? Finn and the rest of the Familia are fighting down there. Ice is in control. This is a very crucial point. They have to make a move immediately. It's no question they have to make a move immediately. What Bell and the others are probably going to have to do is they're going to have to get quick heals from probably the likes of Heath, potentially. I think Heath is going to be somebody who will go along with them immediately. I think Bell's going to recruit whatever he can from the Hostess of Fertility, whoever is near Freya at the time. So I expect Heath to go with them, potentially to give more heals, of course, right? And, support the team that way. Nina might join them as well, of course, right? We know how good she is in terms of her healing, of course, right? From the Hestia Familia. There's a very good chance we could see Heath and Nina both joining Bell down towards Bell and Lafia down towards the lower parts of the dungeon. The question comes into play as to who else will join in. And this is where I want you guys to let me know your theories in the comment section down below. This is what I want you guys to do. I'm going to be giving you guys some of my theories as to what might happen in Volume 21 and 16 in this video, but I want to see your wildest theories. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you expect to happen in the light novel coming up, both Volume 21 of the main series and Sword Oratoria Volume 16? How do you think that they're going to approach the perspectives? Is it going to be just like Bell's perspective on one side and then Lafia's perspective on the other side, or are we going to get a little bit extra on Sword Oratoria's side? Maybe we get more of Aiza's perspective in Volume 16 of Sword Oratoria, right? Potentially what's happening to her internally at the time while, Bell's trying to go in and rescue them. Maybe we might get a perspective of how Finn and the others are still sort of trying to, combat the corrupted spirit during the period of preparation as well. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the next couple of light novels. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say down below. But that's my theory at the moment. And of course, I'll expand on that in just a moment. So he goes on to say, so I hope you'll wait for me. Omori says, I'll give you some spoilers instead. Belle will suffer a terrible experience. Now, this is very interesting. Now, of course, it's not like Belle hasn't had terrible experiences before as well. Let's not get it twisted, right? I mean, if you take a look at the events of volume 12 to volume 14 or season 4, if you're an anime only, I wouldn't say that that's not a terrible experience, but I assume this is even worse, to be honest. And the thing is, right, what this tells me as well, what this line from Omori tells me is he's prepared to kill somebody. There was an interview very recently, I think, or it was a while back. I can't remember exactly when this was, but there was an interview a while back, is what I will say, where Omori was talking about how he doesn't want to kill anybody in the story, right? And the primary reason why he didn't want to kill anybody in the story, at least up until very recently, was, at least those that are close to Belle specifically, I should say here, is because Belle was inexperienced. Belle was super young, and he shouldn't have had the need to experience death. And even we saw that with Wine. We saw how much in despair he was, even in those 5 to 10 seconds before Fels revived Wine. We knew how much it affected Belle, right? Omori did say that after the events of the lower floors, the deep floors, as well as of course the Freya Familiar war games and everything, he's more ready to obviously accept death and understand that that is something that happens, of course, right? Belle is that's to say Belle in this case. So he's, I think, going to be more willing to probably kill off somebody. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen here, is that we see somebody die. We know Tiona is probably the closest one of the lot to die. I think all of us are a bit worried about Tiona's status right now, because hole in the side of her body, head injury, arm potentially severed. We are still unsure on that one. 3 different things that could easily, when combined together, kill you. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good at all, right? And so we're gonna have to wait and see on that front as to what exactly happens. And this is a thing that I'm not too I don't know if I agree with Omori on this one, that it was too soon for death for Belle to see death, that is to say. I think he could have easily killed off at least one person in the deeper floors. I know a lot of people wanted somebody to die and were surprised that nobody died during the deeper floors arc, right, with season 4. And to an extent, I agree. I think somebody maybe should have died. Maybe not necessarily from the Hestia Familiar necessarily, but maybe like a Chigusa or Uka could have probably passed away, right? At least somebody that's not super close to Belle, but it's an ally. It's somebody you've actually explored with, adventured with, you've interacted with, you've had time spent with, and that could have made a difference, to Belle. Of course, we've obviously seen the likes of Philvis pass away, but technically that's from Lufia's perspective, and not only that, Philvis turned out to be a villain as well at the end of the day, an antagonist, and so it's not the same thing necessarily there either. And so I feel like if Belle is going to suffer a terrible experience, from what that tells me, based on what we've seen and everything, that is going to be the case. It's also the whole idea of course, having to fight against Eyes legitimately this time. Obviously he's been training with Eyes again and again and again, but this is the first time he's going to have to go up against not only just one Eyes, but so many Eyes, right? We know there's so many clones of Eyes that are ready to absolutely decimate the entirety of, well, all of them, to be fair. They're ready to decimate the entirety of all of them. And so that is going to be something that's going to be very interesting, to say the least, as to, if it will actually happen or not. So yeah, I'm quite curious to see exactly what's going to happen. I'm very excited to check out what's going to happen. But yeah, my theory right now is just generally speaking and spitballing out there as to what's going to happen. And I'm going to give you guys Belle's perspective of what happens in volume 21, to be quite honest, because I don't know exactly how he's going to handle Sword Oratoria volume 16 in terms of perspective. Is it going to be from Lufia's perspective, and we're just going to follow Lufia's perspective of the entire thing, of the same thing that we're going to see in volume 21? I don't know. But let's talk about what I expect to see. So as I said, I think Heath and Nina are going to be playing big roles as well. Haruhime is obviously going to be playing a big role, coming down all the way for the level boosting and stuff, right? I do think we're going to see Hayden join them and Leon join them, to be honest, as well. I really do believe that, because at the end of the day, I think especially Leon, you know, with how much emphasis he's putting onto the dragon in, you know, recent books, right? Especially in volume 20, we saw how much of an emphasis he was trying to put on to Belle regarding the dangers of the dragon and how close it is to potentially coming out of the seal. I think Leon will want to join them to make sure that everybody is, or at least as many people are rescued as possible from the dungeon, so that, you know, they don't lose any more high-leveled individuals and risk their opportunity to take on the dragon. This is something that Royman will have to also put out as a direct order as well. We know how Royman is super into the fact that, you know, the dragon is coming around the corner. We cannot afford to lose anybody. This is what he wanted to avoid during the Familiar War Games against Freya. It's time he actually uses his guild power and uses it for good and actually gets them to go down and actually rescue the Loki familiar, right? Because you cannot afford to lose the likes of Ice, Bet, Tiona, Riveria, Garrett, Finn. You cannot do that. That's so many high-level characters that you cannot afford to risk losing. You might lose one, but it's better than losing 7 of them, you know, in that sense. So he's going to have to take, you know, actual action and actively, you know, force familiars to, you know, send their best, you know, names forward to go and rescue the Loki familiar. Probably like Shakti and stuff as well from the Ganesha familiar may have to head down as well. And that'll be the first time we'll see them properly in the dungeon in the main series as well, you know, so that's going to be something that's interesting as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of people. I think Charles also probably at this point, I do think that since we haven't had a mention of what happened to Atarl in Oratoria Volume 15, I do think at this point Atarl's probably already beaten Balor. I think Balor has been beaten and he's just come up, and he's probably going to be going and getting his status updated, right? And that means we're going to have a fresh level 8 as well going into the dungeon, which will be also something that'll be something special to see, something special to witness as well. I do wonder as well that, you know, with Leon as well. Leon is fairly close to leveling up, I think, as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check Leon's stats, actually. Leon Vanderberg. Did I spell his name wrong? I think I spelled his name wrong. Let me just put Leon Danmachi. We should have him come up. I want to see his stats. I can't remember his stats from volume 20, but I remember his stats were given. It's Vardenberg. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, he's also fairly close to leveling up. So I do wonder if joining the joining the likes of Bell and everybody and going and defeating the corrupted spirit, or helping aid defeat the corrupted spirit and all these eyes clones. You know, it's multiple level 6 beings effectively, right? It's level 6 clones effectively with the power of level 7 effectively with Tempest and all, right? It's a good opportunity for the likes of Leon and stuff to also, you know, get the opportunity to level up as well. It's actually quite of an interesting decision by Amori. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is a great opportunity for Bell and everybody else, especially with Bell's Liar's Freese brother. Yeah, this guy's getting level 6, dog. He's getting level 6 right after this. There's no two ways in my mind, bro. With the fact that he's going to go down and try and take on multiple Ises, Bell is getting level 6 from this 110%. There's no two ways about it, dog. This guy is going up against Eyes with Liar's Freeze active that is effective, you know, with the presence of Eyes and anything that is influenced by Eyes. This guy is 110% getting level 6. No doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind as well. We're obviously going to see him also probably start learning to properly activate and use Afterglow as well, right? He was able to make a pseudo Afterglow, of course, right? So I expect him to do something similar in this light novel as well. Try and use Afterglow a lot more to take on Eyes as well. So that is going to be something that is also applied as well, in my opinion. I think 100% Afterglow is going to be playing a big role come volume 21 as well. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I'm very excited to see exactly how things pan out. Like I said, I want to see your wildest theories. We might do a video talking about all your wildest theories for Danmachi Volume 21 and Sword Oratoria Volume 16 by extension. So put it in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.